Hello, Michelle here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Lieberman. We'll be starting in just a few moments.
Okay, thank you.
Doesn't say it. Now it does. Good evening and welcome to the Anaheim Planning Commission meeting of December 15th, 2025. My name is Christopher Walker, Chair of the Anaheim Planning Commission. As a reminder, Planning Commission meetings are broadcast on all channels, including online and Anaheim TV Channel 3. Just to note, due to a community meeting scheduled at 6:30 at this chamber, tonight's Planning Commission meeting will adjourn at 6 p.m. The first order of business is to salute our flag. Commissioner Kelly will lead us in the salute.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next, I will ask the Planning Commission Secretary to take verbal roll call of all planning commissioners. Commissioner Lieberman will be participating by teleconference from Valley Springs, California.
Chair Walker,
Present.
Vice Chair Chen Martin,
Present.
Commissioner Kelly,
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman,
Here.
Commissioner Perez,
Here.
Commissioner Castro,
Here.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you. If you would all please silence your electronic communication devices so they don't disrupt the proceeding, we would appreciate that. The doors at the back of the room are automatic. They open when you get close to them, and they don't close until you walk down the hall. Please move away from the automatic doors to allow them to close. Today, we have 4 public hearing items on the agenda. I would ask members of the public who wish to speak on a public hearing item to please complete a yellow speaker card and give it to staff if you have not already done so. The cards can be found on the table at the entrance. Please note that public comments are limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you keep your remarks as brief as you can. We are influenced more by the content than the length of your presentations. First, we provide an opportunity for any member of the public to speak on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission that are not on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? Come on forward, sir.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. I just want to clarify, I may speak now and then also speak at a hearing. Is that correct?
You can, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is general comments. The housing element just completed and was certified by the state a couple months ago, but we're halfway towards the new housing element in 2029. And the Planning Commission, I think, can do a better job on that, helping the council. It's a complicated process. One of the problems is the public comments that were made either verbally or written. Not all of them were included in the final report that was sent to the state. So there is no track record going forward once the 2029 element starts. I don't think that's respectful of the public, especially when the public has been quite helpful in the past with their insights. As it is now, the comments written and publicly given are spread out throughout the city's website. And on this current housing element that was just completed, it was quite an effort tracking down all the comments that were made in order to see where we were coming from the housing element number 7. And since housing is the number 1 problem of Anaheim, according to the council and mayor, and because we have currently 9,100 units short of our affordable unit target, I'm sure we want to get a better start come 2029. I would appreciate what we learned, the public learned in the 8th cycle housing element, is that their voice is not heard quite as loudly as some others. Part of it's the culture here in Anaheim. So I'm hoping the planning commissions whose voice is respected could maybe have a quorum or something, try to encourage the council to adopt that measure so all comments going forward are included in the public record. When I attempted to gather some of them, I came up with over 300 pages, which are not, for the most part, in this record. I think we need all the information we can get going forward on this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak in the audience? Commissioner Lieberman, is there anyone at your location that wishes to speak?
No, there is not.
Very good. See no one, I will proceed on. Prior to the beginning of the public hearings, I will ask the planning commissioners for any disclosures they wish to make regarding the public hearing today. Commissioner Lieberman, do you have any disclosures?
Yes, I met with the developer on item 3 and had a teleconference with the developer for item number 1.
Any other commissioners have disclosures?
Yes, I met with the applicant for item 3.
And I met with the applicant for item 3.
I met with the applicant for item 3 and briefly discussed item 1 with the consultant.
I had a meeting with the applicants for item 3.
I have a meeting with item number 3.
Very good. And I had a meeting with the applicant for item 3, and I had a teleconference with the applicant for item 1. Please note that the actions of the Planning Commission tonight will be final unless an appeal is filed with the city clerk. The appeal deadline is Friday, December 26th at 5 p.m. Appeal forms and information are available on the city clerk's webpage. Do you have any announcements, Mr. Kim?
Very quickly, I have a couple of staffing announcements. Veronica Amami is our current civilian investigator in the police department that assists us with our ABC licenses and other vice-related things for Planning Commission, and she is moving to another position in the planning department, so I wanted to introduce her replacement, which is Rachel Fitzgerald. Rachel you'll be seeing her face a little bit more often when the items that are related to vice and alcohol. The other thing is that I wanted to let you know that this will be Bridget's last Planning Commission meeting with us, as she has taken a position with Public Works with a promotion to an administrative assistant. So we are out with the recruitment for that, but wish Bridget well. Thanks.
Welcome, Rachel. We will miss you, Bridget. I will now begin the public hearing and ask staff to present item 1.
Good evening, Chair Walker and Planning Commissioners. I'm Grace Cho, Senior Planner. The first item on the agenda this evening is case number Dev 2025-00021. It's a development proposal for a new Porsche dealership and service facility involving requests for a tentative parcel map, conditional use permits, and variances. The project site is located at 1501 through 1553 West Lincoln Avenue and 255 North Manchester Court. This site is also known as 1515 West Lincoln Avenue. The site is generally located at the northeast corner of Lincoln Avenue and Loera Street and consists of approximately 2.8 acres of vacant land. The site is zoned general commercial with a land use designation for general commercial and mixed use medium in the general plan. The site consists of several smaller parcels formerly owned by the successor agency to the Anaheim Redevelopment Agency and a portion of the Manchester Court right-of-way. As a result, you see a odd-shaped lot. It's irregular in size, it's got curvature, it's non-rectilinear, and that is the site highlighted in blue. You won't find another site shaped like that in the city of Anaheim. The parcels have been vacant for more than 20 years. Surrounding uses include a brewery to the south across Lincoln Avenue, Southern Pacific Railroad track right-of-way to the southwest, industrial uses to the west across Loera Street, and the I-5 freeway ramp to the north and also directly to the east. Just to provide you with a little bit of background, in April of 2022, the city declared the site as surplus property, and they went through specific procedures in accordance with the State Surplus Land Act. Subsequent to that, the city city's economic development team positioned and negotiated for the property for terms of sale. And in April of this year, City Council approved a disposition and development agreement, also referred to as a DDA, by and between the City of Anaheim and Manchester Lincoln LLC. And then following month, in May, the submittal of the formal application for this case was filed with the Planning Division. So the proposed dealership, let's take a look at this in a little more detail. The vacant underutilized site would be transformed into a modern dealership and service facility for Porsche. The 4-story building is designed to efficiently use the 2.8-acre lot, and the proposed structure would include a total of 20,000 square feet of showroom area and 2 levels, situated on 2 levels, and that's really highlighted by that modern white facade and the storefront windows you see on the image. A total of 39 service bays are located on the 1st and 2nd story levels of the western half of the building, which is the darker facade. And the levels 3 and 4 provide parking for employees and securing the automobile inventory. The proposed hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 8 to 5 p.m., with Sunday hours of 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and they anticipate an employment of 46 employees. There are several entitlements involved with the request. First, I'll highlight the tentative parcel map. The tentative parcel map would be necessary to formally consolidate those parcels and the abandoned portions of Manchester Court. This map would create a viable infill development project site. Secondly, there are conditional use permits. A conditional use permit is very specific for the general commercial zone for the use of a dealership for the automotive sales and also for the repair use. A request to increase the maximum floor area ratio. The maximum for the general commercial zone is 0.5, and the request is for 0.8 to accommodate the multi-story design where all the functions of the dealership are housed within the structure. And as required by the sign code, a coordinated sign program involving a freeway-oriented sign is subject to approval of a CUP. And then lastly, there are some variances being requested. As previously highlighted, it's irregular in shape, it has a unique siding, which I can go into a little bit further in a later slide, but it also is requesting a parking variance. Start with a slide that shows the site plan. The primary entrance to the dealership would be located off of Lincoln Avenue, which is the same opening of the former Manchester Court. The secondary entrance for truck deliveries and emergency access is located at the rearmost portion off of Loera Street. The gray shaded area is the footprint of the dealership building with service entry lanes that are centrally located along the frontage here. And the customer parking area is located to the east, closest to the showroom entrance, which is the curvature portion of that building footprint. Service parking stalls are shaded in the pink color, and they're primarily located to the west on the surface parking lot area and a few spaces at the rear of the property. The site is also enhanced with improvements such as landscaping, the surface parking lot area, lighting, and signage. The construction of the building would provide a structural buffer from the freeway and introduce a nice retail storefront at the corner to activate the section of Lincoln Avenue. This next slide will provide a little bit more information about the internal space planning of the building. And so for the first level, you'll see the central drive aisle for the service drive. East of that service drive is the showroom and sales area. And then west of the service drive is the service bays, storage, parts, and other supportive spaces such as auto washing, detailing, and a photo booth for the vehicles. On the far west side of the building is where the access ramp for the vehicles to navigate the building and go up to the upper floors is situated on the far left-hand side. This slide will highlight some of the variance requests that have been made. A landscape setback is being requested. The code requires a 10-foot setback along the periphery of right-of-way frontages, and the project meets this requirement with the exception of a few select areas, which will be highlighted here. These areas that are highlighted provide paving for vehicle maneuvering or portions of parking spaces. Due to the irregular shape and making those turns with vehicles, these are areas that would accommodate those safer maneuvers without having to snake around the property even further. A variance is also requested to allow one freeway-oriented sign for a dealership that's located on a parcel less than 10 acres in size. With approximately 800 feet of frontage along the freeway, the applicant is requesting that a freeway-oriented sign be afforded as a dealership that is comparable in operations for other locations that may have 10 acres. One freestanding sign is also being requested at the corner of the freeway off-ramp and Lincoln Avenue with increased height dimension and sign area. Due to the site's distance between the public right-of-way and easement requirements and the way customers would navigate to the site, the placement of the sign is limited along Lincoln Avenue. A standard 8-foot sign would be disproportionately small for a 2.8 acre site and a 4-story building. And in relation to the scale, so a taller sign height being requested at 20 feet, 5 inches in height would meet these visibility needs. The sign would appear proportionate to the size of the property and the building as requested. And lastly, the application is requesting a parking variance. The zoning code would require a total of 281 parking spaces with the strict application of the parking ratios. However, Porsche dealerships typically generate lower customer and service volumes due to their focus on smaller high-performance luxury market and the availability of loaner vehicles or concierge flatbed pickup service for when a car might need to be serviced. And in those instances, customers actually wouldn't step foot on the property with those in place. And so that would reduce on-site parking demand in general. A parking justification letter, which is included in your packet, includes data from the McKenna Porsche dealership in Norwalk, which showed a peak demand of 38 spaces. And there they have 35 employees. And then they recognize that for a 10,000 square foot showroom that they had at most 3 customers visiting at one time. So applying that data to the larger proposed Anaheim facility with 46 employees and a showroom that's twice as large, the anticipation for the parking demand would be 52 parking spaces. The project is providing 65 spaces, which would adequately meet that anticipated demand. This slide provides 2 project rendering views on the left-hand side on the top, looking from the site from Lincoln. And then on the bottom here would be a view looking from the 5 freeway off-ramp. The image on the right-hand side is an axiometric drawing providing a slightly different dimension view from Lincoln at a higher angle. And so you can see the 2-story volume on the right-hand side with the showroom and the sales, the 2 levels of service and functions here, and then parking at levels 3 and at 4. The item was noticed as required by code. Staff received 1 comment in support of the proposal and 1 inquiry just to view the plans. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve 2 resolutions, attachments 1 and 2, and take the following actions. 1, determine that the Class 32 infill development categorical exemption under CEQA is the appropriate environmental documentation for this request, and that checklist and supporting documentation is an attachment in the packet as well. And secondly, approve development application 2025-00021. And that concludes my prepared remarks for the staff presentation. I do have the applicant's project representative, Dave C. and Greg McCafferty in the audience, as well as Sergio Ramirez, the Economic Development Director representing the city.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing and ask the applicant to come forward. Good evening, sir. Do you have a presentation or just available for questions?
Questions, if I may. They've done a really nice job of explaining what we're trying to do here.
Very good. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One card.
Am I done?
Yeah, you're done. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Taramino.
Somebody have a stopwatch. I can do this in 30 seconds and respect your time. Good evening, I'm Bill Taramina. I'm the adjacent property owner at 1566 West Lincoln, right across the street. I'm 100% in agreement and in support of this project. I bought my first car from Danny's father in 1967. I'm personally excited that the McKenna family has chosen Anaheim as the location to invest tens of millions of dollars in our new dealership in our hometown. In closing, I am even more excited when I consider what it will be like to have the McKennas as community members of our city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Lieberman, is there anybody in your location that wishes to speak?
No, there is not.
Does anyone else wish to speak on this matter? Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Chairman Walker and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Paul Cott. I'm a real estate broker here in Anaheim, and I have I've been in the business, real estate business in this area for 49 years, and I have never been more excited about a project coming to Anaheim than I am with this Porsche dealership coming to this part of the world. We have endured for the past 35 years the street widening, the freeway widening, a lot of disruption. And we are so excited to have this project being an opportunity for us in Anaheim. My office is roughly 2 blocks from this location, and my residence is about a quarter mile as the crow flies. I live right behind my office. And I have I want to just express my strongest support that I possibly can for this project. This development opportunity is one that we've been waiting on and working for over the past 5 years, and I'm thrilled to see it come to fruition. There are about 20 Porsche dealerships in California, none in North Orange County. This will be the first one in North Orange County, so we're absolutely thrilled to welcome the McKenna family and this dealership into Anaheim. So thank you for your consideration. We're here to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I believe you raised your hand.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. This proposal came before the council a couple months ago, and at that time I raised some questions. In particular, the aviation fuel line that runs underneath, I believe, part of the property that dates back to around World War II or shortly thereafter. It leads into Los Alamitos. I'm not sure if it's still in use. I was hoping someone would engage with me on that, because after the meeting, one respected businessman said I was spot on bringing that issue up. I'm concerned about that aviation line. Is it still being used? What condition is it in due to its age? Has it affected the groundwater? And unfortunately, due to the police shooting, I have not been able to take a look at all the paperwork of this staff report yet. So I'm not sure if that's been covered in the EIR. But again, I apologize, but the police shooting kind of knocked me off my schedule. So that aviation fuel line, very disconcerting. The other point, which I'd like to raise, And again, maybe it's in the EIR report, which I haven't looked at yet, and I'm hoping if it does exist, I can be walked through to reassure my concerns over the fuel line and also this second point, which is the issue of the water. In particular, the issue of perchlorates, which has been raised before here in Anaheim. And perchlorates are a result from the fireworks at Disneyland. And Disneyland's kind of exempt from a lot of normal regulations. And that perchlorate is the chemical that gives the brightness to the fireworks. It's not how they're fired up.
I'm busy.
And those perchlorates get into the water table. And in the city of Rialto in 2012, they had a $100 million settlement over that pollution of the perchlorates getting into their water table and moving. So one of the problems is we didn't test for perchlorates years ago. So the city might have to start from scratch on this. But that also concerns me, those two issues. And if I could be walked through those, or the public could be walked through those, it would be helpful.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to speak? Just checking, Commissioner Lieberman, there's no one at your location, correct?
That is correct.
Very good. I'm going to invite the applicant to come forward if they want any rebuttal, but if you don't, that's fine too.
Greg McCafferty for the applicant. Regarding the jet fuel line, I believe the portion that was on the development site is actually being abandoned or has been abandoned already. And with regard to the Disneyland fireworks and perchlorates, I'm not sure whether that's something I really need to answer, but the jet fuel line has been considered in the development already. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank staff because it's been an aggressive schedule to get us to a public hearing. And everyone you see here and behind you from a staff standpoint has worked very, very hard hand in hand with the applicant to be able to come here before you today with the project we have. So thank you, staff.
Very good. I'm going to close the public hearing. Does anyone have any discussions or questions? Does anyone have a motion?
I'll move. Oh, I'll move.
I'll second.
Very good. Verbal roll call, please.
Chair Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tran Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Castro,
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Yes.
7 yes votes, the motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 2, if staff would like to present.
Grace Cho, Senior Planner, once again. The second item on the agenda, which is case number Dev 2022-00010. This item involves a request to amend conditional use permit and parking variance for fewer parking spaces than required by code for an existing brewery, Brewery X. The subject site is 4.2 acres in size. It's approximately got a 77,000 square foot alcoholic beverage manufacturing facility that is operated by Brewery X. The site is located in development area number 1, Anaheim Canyon Specific Plan number 2015-1. The general plan designation is industrial uses. In April of 2018, Planning Commission approved a conditional use permit that allowed for that permitted beer manufacturing, retail sales of beer for off-premises consumption, a tasting room, an outdoor patio, a banquet room and flex space, and a mural on the front elevation of the building. In July of 2020, As part of the city's COVID-19 emergency order number 6, the brewery obtained a special use permit that allowed an additional 13,380 square feet of outdoor seating area along the rear parking lot area of the site. The emergency order has since been rescinded, and the special use permit is no longer valid. As a result, the applicant has submitted the subject CUP amendment application to retain the outdoor patio area. In addition to retaining the outdoor patio area, the applicant is also requesting the following amendments to the operational characteristics of the CUP. There's a request to extend the brewery's manufacturing hour by an additional hour. Prior to the request, it would end at 3 p.m. They're requesting for it to end at 4 p.m. The application is also requesting to expand the tasting and dining hours by 1 hour earlier, so at 10 a.m., and 1 hour later at 1 a.m., and that would be 2 additional hours. The CUP limits the employee count to 8 brewery employees and 10 serving staff, and the request now would be to have up to 40 employees at any time, and that includes manufacturing, administrative, kitchen, support, and security. There's also a request to extend, a request to modify the hours related to truck operations. So the hours for delivery and inventory are 4 a.m. to 2 p.m., but because of the proposed expanded patio, to limit any conflicts between customers who may be waiting for the food truck area and where the loading dock is, truck activity there would be prohibited between the customer hours, which are 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. The CUP amendment would result in some site and floor plan modifications. So first and foremost, the retention of the 13,830 square foot patio, which is the area striped in red on the right-hand side, that occupies 30 parking spaces. The requested permanence of that space would necessitate parking upgrades for ADA compliance, and that would result in additional loss of 7 spaces for overall parking reduction of 37 spaces. In order to offset the loss, the applicant would like to add 11 new spaces at the front parking lot area, and then restripe the rear area in the left-hand corner up here for additional parking for a total of 191 spaces on the property. The floor plans would also be updated, and the CUP initially envisioned a 2,500 square foot interior retail space, but during the build-out that was permitted, the manufacturing and tasting area took over that. And then lastly, the area known as the 5,000 square foot flex space or banquet room area would be converted to the annex building. And that annex building would supply for additional 3,255 square feet of tasting area and a 1,500 square foot kitchen space. The request for a conditional use permit is also being made to allow for valet parking operations. And when there's a valet parking operator, there's ability to provide for tandem parking on the site, and an additional 17 spaces could be parked on the property. The applicant is requesting a parking variance. The total number of code required parking for the brewery in its existing condition is 453 parking spaces. The required number with the proposed annex and use of their existing second floor office would be 561 spaces. When looking at the parking calculation by code, it accounts for all the uses on the premises and does not distinguish between the unique parking availability that the brewery may have throughout the day. So for one example, the brewery's manufacturing area would yield 81 required parking spaces, but operationally, the facility would not even have more than 40 employees in totality. And to capture the parking demand and needs for the brewery, specific to Brewery X, the applicant retained the services of Translutions Incorporated to conduct a parking study and parking demand analysis. The study counts revealed a peak demand of 206 spaces during Saturday evening hours. With that information, the projected parking with the annex space and the office would be 237 parking spaces. To effectively provide 237 parking spaces projected for the brewery operations, the applicant would need to supplement their 191 spaces that are being provided on the property. And as such, an off-shared parking agreement would be part of the variance request. So Brewery X currently has an agreement with the property owners immediately east of the project site, and that would provide for an additional 90 parking spaces in the evening when the drive for additional parking spaces is needed. These agreements would remain with the proposed off-site shared parking proposal and be required through a condition of approval. Specifically, 3321 East La Palma Avenue would provide 49 spaces after 6 p.m. throughout the weekdays, and then all day on Saturday and Sunday. 3199 East La Palma Avenue would provide 41 spaces after 4 p.m. daily. The implementation of valet parking operations, the security operations plan calls out for security assisting with parking guidance and wayfinding signage to optimize the parking availability. At its peak implementation, a total of 298 parking spaces would be available for Brewery X patrons when 237 is projected for full use of the property. These are a few recent images of the exterior of the property and the existing conditions of the outdoor patio area. The left-hand side captures the temporary patio space that occupies 30 parking spaces. The upper right-hand side is the outdoor patio space that was approved as part of the CUP in 2017. And then the lower right-hand features the food truck and customer queuing area, which is located in front of the loading dock space. The project was noticed as required by code, and staff received one comment regarding Brewery X patron parking issues on private property, which was included in your packet. After the publication of the packet, staff did receive 3 emails, 2 in support of the application, and 1 business expressing concerns with access to their business. Staff has evaluated the proposal and found that the requested CUP amendments, the request for valet parking, and the parking variance and off-site parking can appropriately be accommodated as conditioned in the drafted resolution. And staff recommends that the Planning Commission determine that a Class 1 existing facilities categorical exemption is the appropriate environmental determination. This site can appropriately accommodate the proposed use and will not result in an adverse effects for the site or general vicinity. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? I'm going to open the public hearing and ask the applicant to come forward. Do you have a presentation, sir, or just for questions?
Just a couple brief comments. My name is John Moreland. I'm the Director of Community Planning with Rincon. I just wanted to first just say just thank you to staff, Grace and Scott in particular. City of Anaheim has great staff to kind of help present the project that's before you today. This project really kind of stemmed out of the pandemic and is really critical to the Brewery X operations. And in addition to essentially memorializing everything that's in existence today, also going to memorialize the security personnel and the improvement of additional parking spaces and the valet for added flexibility to enhance the customer experience. I'm going to hand it off to Clayton, who's also the owner of one of the founders of Brewery X. Thank you, Joe.
Good evening, commissioners. Thank you for the time to speak, and thank you very much, staff. It's been a pleasure working with you. My name is Clayton Wellbank. I'm the CEO and founder of Brewery X. Brewery X is a family business. We are very proud to be here in Anaheim. Not only do we have our location on La Palma, but also have restaurants, the Angel Stadium, as well as the Honda Center. We are committed to running a smooth operation that will not negatively impact our business neighbors. We are focused on working with our neighbors and are committed to resolving any issues. This approval is critical for our business operations. In these economic times, we are seeing decreased consumer spending as well as changing consumer habits. We have spent the past 6 years working diligently to become a driving force for good in our community. In response, the community has embraced Brewery X because of the positivity we spread locally throughout our Anaheim community. This approval will further allow Brewery X to engage with our local community and provide a place to meet, do business, and to socialize. I would like to again thank you for your time, and our team is available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions by any commissioners? Thank you, sir.
This is Michelle Lieberman. I have a question.
Yes.
Clayton, thank you for addressing the commission. I presume you saw the three late emails and letters that came in regarding your item, and the one from one of your neighbors who's having issues with your patrons parking over on his property. Has he? I'm just wondering if he's addressed this matter with you before, and do you think the new parking situation will help alleviate this gentleman's complaints, or is there something that can be done to give him some relief? I know you have a very successful business there, and I congratulate you on that, but parking issues are a result of successful businesses. So anything you can suggest?
Certainly. The gentleman, Mr. Fowler, he and I did correspond over a year ago, I do believe, and at the time we were committed to resolving any issues, and at this point still are. Have not heard any recent complaints within this last year. Will add, with the addition of valet and further making our parking lot more efficient, I do believe this will solve any and all issues. Frankly, we have security guards, around 5, if not more of them, on the busier nights, ensuring that people are parking in the appropriate parking lots and not going places where they shouldn't go. I think I answered your questions.
I think you did. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there any cards? Does anyone wish to speak here? You can sit down, sir. Go ahead.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. I'm in favor of this project, and I'm in favor of the Porsche dealership, but I'm also an advocate of public engagement and making sure the public's voice is heard. So although these comments might be critical, I don't mean it to be negative. With that in mind, I felt that the previous applicant was a bit dismissive of the perchlorate issue.
I'm sorry, sir. This is for comments on this item only.
Excuse me, I'm not used during public hearings. They're not usually interactive. And when they're interactive, it disrupts my line of thinking. I'm limited to 3 minutes, and some of my examples are rather lengthy. Now, I'm losing time, a minute, interacting on a topic I didn't want to get into. The mayor often does this to me, and it's disconcerting. Now I'm down to 1:50, and I'll try and address my 2 points. The perchlorate, the reason I bring that to this site location is if I was a brewery owner and my business was, one of its foundation blocks was water, I would be concerned that if my site was in a location where the prevailing winds from Disneyland in the evening tend to go west. They go west to east, about the time when they shoot the fireworks off. So site location, what I'm trying to say from the public's perspective is we would like to see this business succeed. We would not like to see this business in a couple years get caught up in what happened in Rialto when it was a $100 million settlement over perchlorates. So I hope this is looked at. Okay, moving on to the second one, second point. In terms of the presentation, the history of presentations by the staff here in the city, their numbers are a bit questionable or lack research. I go back no further than item number 8 at the last council meeting on the cost overruns to fire station number 12. The public was led to believe they had a firm knowledge of the cost due to the numbers the city submitted to staff. Turned out they weren't. They came back for more money. I'm questioning some of these numbers, not questioning the owner, questioning the staff's thoroughness in going through them.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Lieberman, is there anyone that wishes to speak in your location?
No, there is not.
I'm going to close the public hearing. Any additional questions for the applicant?
I'll move the item.
I'll second.
Shall we vote?
Chair Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tran Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Castro,
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Yes.
7 yes votes. The motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. Two items.
Given the time and to allow for sufficient time for the next item to be heard, staff recommends that the Planning Commission continue item 3 and 4 to January 12th meeting, but we would need a separate vote for each item to continue date specific to January 12th.
Do I have a motion for item 3?
Make a motion to move it to January 12th.
A second?
I'll second.
Discussions? Shall we vote?
We don't think we could get it done in 10 minutes now?
I don't believe so, just to make sure that in case something comes up, that we don't want to cut the hearing short.
Chair Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tran Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Castro,
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Yes.
7 yes votes. The motion carries.
Is there a motion for item 4?
I'll make the motion to move it to January 12th.
I'll second.
Discussions? Shall we vote?
Chair Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tran Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Castro,
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Yes.
7 yes votes. The motion carries.
Thank you. I believe we need a motion for the cancellation of the 29th.
That's correct.
I'll move to cancel the meeting on the 25th.
Second.
Discussions? Shall we vote?
Chair Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tran Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez, Commissioner Castro,
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul Rahman,
Yes.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Yes.
7 yes votes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Updates?
Only one update this evening. Tomorrow evening at the City Council meeting, the Festival Anaheim Hills project will be considered by City Council. That's it.
Thank you. Anything else? We're adjourned.